Fridays. Ask the experts anything meaningful Friday. Today, our expert is our good friend Carrie Jo Little. We are continuing with week number 2 of Expired Listing Masterclass. And I'm pretty good at Canva, but I think Carrie Jo is better. So I figured we'd bring her on today, let her introduce herself, and then we're going to teach you some things. So let's bring her on. Let's give her a round of applause. Carrie Jo. Oh, you're perfectly centered in the square too. That's like we planned.
I'm doing good.
Good
I
morning.
tried.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell the folks who you are, who don't know you. If there's
good morning for those of you that there's always somebody that doesn't know me or you, but we try. We try to make sure everybody knows us. So I'm Carrie Little. People do call me Carrie Jo usually when there's another Carrie in the room, or if my identical twin is in the room, because Carrie Jo and Mina Jo rhyme.
I like
that
Carrie
is the
Jo.
purpose.
CJ.
Okay.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ. That my nickname. So yeah, I am from Illinois. I am a real estate agent in Illinois and in Florida. I run my own brokerage. You know, all of the awesome things that come with running a brokerage. I have been in the industry since 2001, and I love all things digital marketing. And and then we throw Canva and ChatGPT in the mix.
So much fun. What a great year to be a broker owner the last year.
And I was audited. So there you go. My second audit since I started my company. So what else do you want to know in the world of real estate?
Yeah. So we're talking, I know you talk a lot about the opportunities that are out there regardless of the market. You use a lot of the different platforms to find opportunities, whether it's people that are likely to sell or expired listings and things like that. I love expired listings. That's what we talked about last week. And so from the marketing perspective, let's get into Canva because I think it's a great tool. Do you want to talk about how you use it? I know you're probably like me. You keep that tab open almost all day, every day.
Yes. So I use Canva a few different ways. I use it in conjunction with ChatGPT now, although Canva does have Canva Magic, right?
Yeah.
But I like to use it to create marketing for expireds. I like to use it to create marketing for social media. I like to use it to create, as an instructor, I use it for all of my presentations, and I use it to edit video for my YouTube channel. Every single week, I post a video on YouTube, and then my twin sister and I go live on YouTube Wednesday evenings, and we edit everything right here in Canva.
Okay. So
that's just a few.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I like what you said in the beginning, because Canva does have the magic built in, which is an API with GPT on the backside, but I think it's not as good. Plus, when you're using your own GPT, like it knows you because it has a memory, so it knows all the things you've been doing. It knows about your brokerage, knows about your expired listing marketing history, or anything else that you have done as far as your unique value. Is that right?
Yes, and you're right about the fact that ChatGPT is better. I pay for ChatGPT. However, after a conversation that I had with my sister, we came back to Canva and we compared, because ChatGPT now has projects.
Yeah.
And we know that Canva has projects, although many of us might think of them as folders. So literally last week, my new approach to Canva is to combine it with the projects that I'm using on ChatGPT and now in Canva, so I can keep everything in one place. And maybe I'm undiagnosed ADHD. It made me get a little bit more organized. And here's something else that I do that many people may not know. So I actually hired someone to help me with my marketing as a speaker, because because of you, JMan, I use Kartra. And so the person that I hired, they use my Canva account to create all of my social media content as an instructor when it comes to teaching real estate agents. So there's so many ways we could leverage this, but the newest to me is the projects. And so although Elizabeth has always used the projects for me, it made me realize, wait a minute, if ChatGPT has projects, why can't I take what I've done there and move it here so I have all of my marketing in one place? Because in ChatGPT, I have, when we talk about expireds, to give you an example, I now have projects for the city that I work in, the city that I grew up in, and a few other areas where I'm targeting expireds every single week. So what I do is I use ChatGPT, Canva, and data. And I have a prompt for a letter to a home seller. I have a prompt for the data for a blog post on LinkedIn, and I use Canva to create the cover images. And then I have a prompt for a social media post, and then I have a prompt for a video. So everything that all of the ideas that I get from ChatGPT, I bring them over to Canva to actually get the marketing done.
Wow. There's a lot there, but I want to start because the projects. It's just one of the newest updates for those that aren't on ChatGPT like we are, and it really does. Think of it like a folder, like you would in your Google Drive or your Dropbox. Just helps you to keep things organized. So if you're gonna follow our last couple sessions in regards to expired listings, and you're gonna start creating all of these chats that have expired campaign, expired flow, expired social media copy, you could take all that, dump it into a project, right, called expired listing Chicagoland or something like that. Is that right? Am I saying it
Well,
right?
it's more like, kind of. I could show you.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
See if this is. There we go. This is yours, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Fix it.
since you're letting me share, I figured what I would do is, these are my projects over here to the left. So these are my true projects. This is what I work on. But whenever I teach, I often use a different neighborhood. Now, I don't care if all of you know where I'm marketing, because the truth is about 80% of you aren't going to do it anyway. Right, JMan? We know. So,
92.3.
right, you got the exact number.
No, I'm just
I gave them some
kidding.
grace. I gave
Yeah.
them some grace. So, what I do is, you could see that I have projects. And to give you a really good example, because this is the city that I live in, I have all of my instructions that I actually built. Here, look. This is where I felt like I had, you know how we have all of these different platforms that we use?
Yeah.
So I had my 4 prompts in Google Docs that I was using over and over again. And so what I would do, now that we have ChatGPT projects, I came and copied all of this, and I came to ChatGPT and I created a project. This is where I live, West Chicago, not Chicago, suburbs. I got to help people because everybody outside of the state thinks I'm in Chicago or the west side of Chicago. So I added the instructions for the letter to the client, and this can work for expireds. It could work for anything. It could work for It could work for people that are in pre-foreclosure, expireds. It could work for canceleds. It could work with people. You use PropStream, right? It could work for people with pre-foreclosures. You name it. People that houses are paid off. I could use this prompt for everything.
So the
So
custom
go ahead.
instructions are tied into the project.
Correct. So I put all of
Okay.
my custom instructions here. Absolutely. So then, and I just started doing this when the projects came out. So the first set of data is November, because that's the data that's easy for me to add, because it comes from our Market View or InfoSparks in
Yeah,
Illinois.
we
So I
have
uploaded that. You got that?
similar. Yeah.
Okay.
But it could
So
be an
then,
RPR report, right? It could be whatever.
oh, yeah, there you go. It could be all of it. So then what I did was I will come here and I will ask ChatGPT to write a letter using the instructions and the data from November, and then it will literally just write the letter. So this could be for my expired mailings. And then what I do,
It's great.
I know, and just to really blow people's minds.
See, this is how you see 2 data nerds going, oh my God, this is so wonderful.
What's wrong? What's wrong with them? So this is not my checklist. I went old school because I asked Mark, for those of you that don't know Mark, my husband, who's licensed, how many hours he was willing to commit to lead generation every single day, and he was like 2 to 3 hours. I'm like, nope, I need you to tell me how many. He was like 2. So we went backwards. So I actually had, and this I have one now for every single week in January so far. And I'll let you know if I go back to like Todoist or Trello. But right now, it makes Mark walk around the house with this until he gets it done. So I am going after expireds every single day with Mark. And then we are also targeting specific cities. Now I've updated it for him for monthly. So, and I'll come back and I'll tell you the strategy in a moment. So then over here in Canva, I have projects. So I have one now for West Chicago, Illinois. And because I don't want to show all of you that because it's a lot. But what I did was whenever I teach, I pick a different neighborhood. And so here's the letter. So I am now putting the letters here because it will keep the letter as opposed to me keeping it in Google Docs, because I didn't want, every time I would copy it, I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have all of these docs. How could I do this better? So because of projects in GPT, I was like, why don't we integrate this with Canva? And so now everything will be in the same place as opposed to me just copy cutting and pasting and redesigning this every single month or every single day whenever I'm going to mail.
But in
So
Canva, do they
now,
call them projects or are they called folders?
so in Canva, they're actually called projects.
Oh, projects on the side. Okay.
But you're absolutely right. But when you get into the projects, they're folders. Wasn't my idea.
Yeah.
Wasn't my idea. So I'm sure you're thinking the same thing as me. Is they should have like a project and then the folders within the project. Maybe.
But I mean, it's
maybe
if
that
you're
makes
really,
sense.
it helps tremendously. If you're doing a lot on ChatGPT, like we are, so many chats. Same thing with Canva. It helps you to be less stressed, right? To keep everything organized and save time, so that when you're doing this every day, you're just like, boom, doing my block, bam, send out a letter, done. Rather than like, where's the letter? Where is it in my Google Docs? And trying to copy and paste and wasting time. Super efficient.
Right. So so the letter is done, and let me to take it a step further. And I know we all work with different MLS. Do you want me to stop sharing so I could just talk to people? So
Okay.
in our I hit
No,
stop
just keep
and
the
then it
share up,
doesn't
and I'll just
switch.
change the scene.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Bring it back over here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Let me go back to my share. My bad, everybody. Me trying to be efficient.
So
So,
Michael Carlo asked if you could share the checklist,
oh yeah, I'll go
and
ahead.
he's just for. He also commented he's got two twin daughters that are, I think, they're the same age as my son, 14. So he wants to know if you have any tips for twin
On
girls.
twins.
Yeah.
Well, if they were like us, I'm just going to tell you, we had to repent later in life to my mother because we were terrible. We were terrible.
Repent.
And I don't know if they're identical or not. Find
I
out
think they are.
if they're identical. If they're identical, let them do things together. Don't. I'm going to tell you, it's probably too late for this, but the one thing that we think was a mistake was splitting us when we were in elementary school and middle school and high school. They force twins to not be together. So if they need to do things together, let them do things together. If they decide to do it separately, that's okay too. Because today it's added value because we get hired as co-speakers, JMan.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because the first time I met your sister, I didn't know she was going to be there. I think it was at NAR. I'm like, yo, girl, what's up? I think I'm talking to you. Like, oh, yeah, no, she's just sitting here like, then you walked up and I'm like, wait a second. Who are you? She's like, I'm Carrie Jo. I'm her sister.
So,
I'm like,
right,
oh.
here's what's even crazier. If you ever go to the NAR conference and we get hired to speak together, and my husband is walking like the trade show floor with Mina, people are like, hey, Carrie. They hug Mina, they hug Mark, and she's like, what's happening? And then people are like, what's wrong? You got the wrong twin.
That's funny.
You got the wrong twin. It's funny.
What were we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about, I shared the checklist. Squirrel.
Oh, yeah. So the checklist. And
just to let me zoom in a little bit for Michael. This has evolved. So when I taught a class on keeping it simple, I did this based on my husband because trust me when I tell you, he literally wants the bare minimum. And I've changed this so for my husband, because there's the company one,
Yeah.
based on what he was willing to do and finish. And so even when you see posts on social media, JMan, you know he's not doing it unless I do it. So what I've added is he's willing to cold call. I don't want to cold call. So he cold calls people. And he also he cold calls it, not cold calls, but he follows up with his clients now because he has a checklist. So this is, to me, even if you don't finish everything, it forces you to actually do lead generation before you get into your emails, before you get and my husband's addicted to cars, Michael. So before he gets on the auction site, and something new shows up at my house. But this has worked, and so far he has a pipeline of a little over 1 million because I started doing this. And this is the simple version. And then JMan, let me tell you what happened. So I you know how I this is how I believe God works. I got an email from Tom Ferry, and he's talking about a checklist, and I'm like waiting for somebody to say I copied him. I don't click on his stuff for that reason.
Yeah. Always happens. Sometimes it's like a
It
6 months later. It's like,
and
wow.
it's almost like the universe knows that this is what people need. Like, it's the simple process of real estate. It's the simple process of going. And by the way, yeah, because you're for a sale by owner marketer. This is the simple everything that we've talked about. This letter could easily go for just about anything.
Yeah. And so, do you attribute any time to the checklist? Like each like this is going to take me this much time, this time, like prospecting, or just kind
I'm ADD, so we got a timer.
of.
Once the
That's
once
great.
the 60 minutes is up, or depending on my husband, then we take a break, we get a snack, and we come back.
Oh,
So
that
really
I
the
like that.
goal is, and some things my husband will do before I get up, because he's up probably at 4:30 in the morning. So some things get done right away. Like, he's already worked out for the day, he's already done his daily affirmations, he's already looked at the dashboard, because our MLS, our dashboard has like market activity. And so we put in all of our cities that we're willing to farm. And so he will have already looked at the expireds, and if there's nothing new, done. And then if there's nothing new, he will go to Realist. Do you have Realist in New
Yeah.
York?
Yep.
So he'll go to Realist, and our MLS talks to Realist every night at midnight. And what people don't know, I almost want to share this, is I can go back as far as 2008 in my Realist, and I can use InfoSparks, and I can look at the bottom of the market in a specific city, and then I can go to Realist and target all properties that were listed but expired but were never relisted. And so if we look at our either expireds on our dashboard, or the hot sheet cancels and expireds, or we go to Realist to look for properties that were never relisted.
Okay. So let's say we find some expireds and we want to create some marketing pieces. I'm going to show them towards the end, like a 16 touch over 8 week campaign that includes like door hangers, postcards, letters. Now, when you said letters, when you upload it, are you uploading like the document so that it's in there? How do you into
So
Canva?
right
Let's go
now,
back to Canva.
so
Let's go
okay,
back there.
so
I'm a visual
I'll give you
learner.
my example of what I would
Well,
do.
that's not it. Hold on.
Oh, wrong one.
That's mine,
Is that it?
but that's your screen.
Hold on, I'll
So
get it.
here,
Um,
while you're fixing that, I'm gonna come over here.
I got it. Okay, I
I
got
just
it.
want to. I'll show them this first. So I have 3 tabs open. The first one is, and this is for you all starting out. Create an 8-touch email campaign to follow up with an expired listing. I just kept it super simple for you, right? Then you have it's 8 touches. We noticed your listing expired. What happened? My selling strategy. You could take more time and build it out. Meet a former expired listing. Seller with confidence. The market waits for no one. Your home's true value. Let's wrap this up. And then what I did say was create image prompts to be used with an AI image generator for each email. So then I have a prompt to make images to go with the email, just to keep it, because I don't want to make it too complicated. Could we make it very, very much better? Yes. But then you're going to be like, I got lost in one of the steps and I want to do it. Second part here, to Carrie's point, what I just mentioned, I said an 8-week, 16 touch campaign over 8 weeks marketing for expired, like a blitz. Okay. So week 1 is a phone call, a handwritten note. Week 2 is a door hanger and a postcard. Week 3 is a phone call and a direct mail letter. 4, door knocking and email. 5, postcard and handwritten note. 6, phone call and text or email follow up. 7, direct mail letter, door knocking or pop by. 8, postcard or final phone call. If they don't know you by then or haven't listed with you, something's wrong.
And you know what's interesting about your that those touches is real estate agents will often say, Carrie, they're looking for the blueprint and what's going to actually work, but everything is in the follow up. Everything is in being consistent and asking for the actual business, whether you're going to send a direct mail piece, whether you're going to door knock, whether you're going to drop off a doorknob hanger, whether you're going to go try and find the phone number. It is in the follow up, and you have to ask.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to ask. And, like it's ChatGPT even gives you tips. But for me, I wouldn't have made it through 2008, 9, 10 without expired listings. I would have been out of the business. And it was that consistency, but knowing when to push just enough. Because there's a point where then it's like you're too pushy and you're a salesperson, right? You got to be able to pull back, maintain the rapport, so that the next touch, when you talk to them, it's still a warm conversation, not like, oh, damn, Jeremiah is calling again, and they want to hang up the phone on me.
Nope. It's learning how to have a conversation with someone, listening to what their needs are, and then converting, or at least scheduling the appointment. And what I was listening to a podcast some time ago, sometime during the pandemic, and I think you and I might naturally do this, but when I heard someone else say it, it made me realize I was doing things the right way. It is finding out what someone else needs, finding out why they purchased their home, finding out why they might want to sell their home,
Yeah,
and
motivation.
listening. It's the motivation. Even and the motivation might just be that the market is telling us it's time to sell.
Info sparks.
Right? You see me opening my stuff so I can show people what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still, I think, on. Are we on your screen or my screen?
We're on your screen.
Oh, where am I? Oh, I'm sorry. Like I'm
Oh,
just working away, because I have you on another screen. All right, here we go. So for those of you that are kind of like trying to figure out what should I do, first of all, JMan, full disclosure, this is really what happens if a property expired today. So this is my dashboard on my MLS. If anything expired today, this is my process. It is a handwritten note card, old school. That's what's happening, because the second touch will be the data. But in the event that Mark is doing this because he doesn't want to write a handwritten note card, the letters are already created and he can log into Canva and print it for the day. What I do is I go to reports. Now, if you don't have this, because in Orlando, Florida, I don't have this, so I have to go grab the data from the MLS, there's always a way. There's always a way to get the data. Don't overthink this. So let's see, where can I, here, let's go somewhere where I haven't looked. So what I do is I come here, and to get it into Canva is I just, do my snipping, and I'm on a PC right now.
a what?
I know. I travel with a Mac. I use my Mac when I go to, when I'm sitting on the couch. So I'm probably one of the strange ones of the group. So,
No,
so
it's
here's
okay.
Lombard. I know. 2024.
We got a question, Tiffany. We'll get to that, Tiffany. How do you track your success? Like, how do you track the what's working and what's not working?
I'll come to that.
Go Bills,
And for
Tiffany.
those of you, yeah, that's a really good question, but I'll actually show you. And so what I do is I grab the current data, which is right now in our market is November 2024, and then I compare to November 2013 because I can go back that far. So I will grab these two data sets. And by the way, I would save them as PDFs and upload them to ChatGPT to get my letter. But to show you how I would add this to Canva is I just take a snippet and I would probably not use all of this.
Now, why go back all the way to 2023? Just because it shows a more dramatic change in the market?
Right. So I like to compare 2013 and 2024 for this reason. For those of you that are like, okay, why is she doing this?
Yeah.
So here's Lombard, Illinois, November 2024. We've got median sales price is 386. We've got average market time is 36 days. And then the housing inventory at the end of the period, there was only 36 houses on the market. If now remember this, because I don't remember, look at the difference in the data back over 10 years ago. So I like to go back as far as I can. And if I can't go back as far here in InfoSparks, I go back to the MLS, like in Stellar MLS or the Matrix, Matrix. I go pull the data for median sales price in 2013 or 2014 and compare it to 2024 because the values have increased significantly.
Oh, yeah.
And so by doing this, I just upload these two PDFs to ChatGPT, and I'll go to Canva in a second. So I usually click download, and I will save this as Lombard, November 2013.
So if you have a couple different farms that you're working or areas that you really specialize in, you'll do that for each different area you're saying, right?
Right, and because Michael asked the question or wanted to see my checklist, and this is not really my checklist, but all of this data also goes for my LinkedIn posts. So I have 4 cities that I blog about on LinkedIn, and the person that asked how do I track the success, I do have a spreadsheet which I can show you, but by posting consistently on LinkedIn, the city that I live in called Mark and I to have a conversation with them about building property in the city of West Chicago because I am the only blogger on the data for the city of West Chicago.
Right.
And ChatGPT wrote the blog.
You're an expert.
I'm an expert.
Yeah.
Because InfoSparks made me an expert in ChatGPT.
Well,
So,
and when reporters want to interview people too, that's when you get the phone call.
But here's what let me tell you. You said a key word is when reporters call you, if you're doing this every single month, and for who was the person that asked the question? Was it Tiffany? If you did this every single month, I'm going to show you how I track my success, but if you did this every single month in 2025, here's what happens, is you now have a letter that you should absolutely read, by the way. It's fundamental that you read it out loud, so it will help you see what's changing in the market. And then if you're doing this every single month and a reporter calls you, guess who can be interviewed and not freak out?
Right. You have your talking points prepared already.
But here's the
your
other
scripts
value.
Almost.
But so now I go back to my project, and if you're not paying for ChatGPT, it's worth the $20 a month for this reason. Because my twin sister and I just said, because she's in data and research for a school district. So now I'm going to upload every single month in all of 2025. So year-end review, January 2026, I'm going to come back to ChatGPT and ask it to give me a year-end review. That's an entirely new blog post. So again, tracking your success will be different. How you track it is up to you. CRM, your MLS, transaction management tool or tracking system, or using an old school spreadsheet is how you track it. So I track everything we mail out every single month. And Tiffany, I'm the broker owner, so I truly don't do this. I make Mark do it. Right out the gate, I can tell you that I'm probably doing it. You know, I feel like I've been hustled. I'm the admin, but I do it and put his name on it because you can see, even in the letter, I make Mark sign his name when I print these out. So this letter is also an email to my database. This letter that got emailed to my database last week, we've already had someone click on my Cloud CMA link from a former client. And I just think 2025 is going to be different anyway, JMan, because there's change in the air, things are changing, and I think people are getting used to the fact that interest rates are what they are. And so one of my former clients back from 2013 clicked to find out what their home was worth. Guess who called to follow up? Mark. And so she's like, I'm thinking about it. So now that's someone else that's added to our follow-up report. So all of this works. The key to tracking your success is figuring out where you can put it and following up every single week or every single month. So now that I've downloaded those two reports, I would come back to Canva. And here I'm going to do this. In the top left-hand corner, I'm going to open another window. And I would simply click Create a design. And I'm going to go with a letter. And then over to the left, in my painter's palette, I guess you could call it, I'll just click Upload. And I'll
Absolutely,
upload
Reese.
two.
Reese said when he was a president, having those talking points when reporters called were a lifesaver. Yes, sir.
And I've been on Fox News, and you already know what happened because I was on Fox News because of the settlement. They didn't ask me anything, they emailed me. But guess who was good at this? I was looking at the data. I had been reading the updates. I teach. If you're trying to figure this out, you just have to practice, practice, practice. So now there's my Lombard. And then I can add another page. And I'm going to do this because I think the most recent is more important. And so now I have my local market update for Lombard and for, I don't know what happened here, but we'll just pretend like it's there. I just have to re-upload it. And over to the left, I would just go and grab my logo. Oh, we don't want that one. Why am I struggling? Hold on. Let me hold down the Control key.
There it is.
Boom. And what I do is down at the bottom, I might get rid of this. I might, edit this a little bit. And then I might put in, it didn't crop it. I think something's weird's happening with Canva right now. But I think you get it.
Yeah.
I put in
Crop
my own
it down.
information, crop it. I can give you another way to contact me. And then I can choose not to write a letter, or I might even have JMan a previously created letter for West Chicago. We call West Chicago We Go.
We go.
Everybody goes to We Go. Because I've done this in a newsletter. I've done this with the data. Now you can see why. Now, here it is. Is this it? Yep, here it is. Oh, this was a great talk today. So here's the letter with a QR code. I believe that not everyone likes QR codes, so you can also see that I've added my link, and that's my Cloud CMA link. If you don't have that, you could just go create a Google form. And then here's the you like that?
Love it. I like that you guys are in there. I like that a lot.
And again, the key to this is simply going to grab the data and then going back to ChatGPT. And here I'll make a project for Lombard. This is where my mother grew up, Lombard, Illinois.
Could you do a door hanger or a postcard? Show them that.
I could. I'm not going. So what am I willing to? What is Mark willing to do? He is not willing to do that, but everybody else could. So I could ask ChatGPT. So I'm adding those two reports. And then I'm going back to my prompts. Don't judge me. I could probably do replace. This is me. This is the over 50-year-old in me. And for those of you that are like, what is this? I literally have. Let's make another one. Give me a prompt for a door hanger. What could I say? Create
a door hanger marketing piece to target expired listings. Recently expired listings. Because I think there's two segmentations there. New and old.
And by the way, you do not have to know how to spell
Amen.
in Canva. It understands Carrie. So then, because I paid for ChatGPT, oh, let me go back and fix this. I did this out of order. So go to add files, upload the files, because I'm paying for it. And then I'm going to upload my instructions once that's done uploading over to the right. Paste. Then I'll save my instructions, and now because this is a project that I can keep using, I will just come to ChatGPT and say, I like to say good morning, ChatGPT. Please use. I feel like when it comes alive, it's gonna like me.
Oh, for sure. Mine's name is Chatty G.
Okay, see there, Chatty G.
Yeah.
And you said a her. You gave it a her.
Yep.
I think ChatGPT is a guy.
I use the voice a lot, so she has a female voice. Like, Chatty G, what's up? She's like, hey, JMan. I'm never alone.
There you go. And then enter. It might create an image at this point.
Let's go. Boom.
There you go. So I can grab this image, I can grab this, and then I can come over to this thing called Canva, go to the top left-hand corner, click Create a Design, Door. This one?
Yeah, that'll work.
Wait, let's help everybody with the easy button. Real estate. Maybe I don't like any of those. Which one do you use, JMan? I could go with something.
Let's go with the.
I'm real picky.
I know, me too. I do the same thing when I'm live streaming. I'm like, well, I'm like, wait, this is just for demonstration purposes. Do the
Right.
blue, like the.
Here, I'll go with
there.
this one, and then what I would do is I would actually, because I pay for Canva, I'd come back in.
Boop.
And just
Add your
grab
colors.
the template. Let's go grab this one, apply both, go grab my style, change the color.
Boom.
You see, I've already fixed it. Oh, so much better. Whoops, I want this one. Let's change that one. Simple. So I can, instead of just using all of this, I can come back and change this to selling, question mark. I can move all of this up. I think they get it.
Yeah, and so can you order it directly to print from here? Because I've never done that.
Yes. So if you click print with Canva, and it depending on, I think you can have it sent to, I know you can have it sent to FedEx in your area, and you might be able to send it to Office Depot and Staples, but you'll know. So
$10 for one door hanger? No,
I don't know why it's like that.
can't be. 10 door hangers, $155 each, $150.
Look at that.
Each. Okay. Yeah, so I think I would, you're going to be doing this. It's cheaper by the dozen. Do 500 of them. If that breaks down to 25 cents a door hanger or whatever it might be.
I would say if you're going to buy 500, keep this basic. If you're going to test this,
don't personalize it
go
too
buy
much.
the 10 and then go to the 10 houses from your MLS that expired today, and then they're pretty quick at FedEx. They're done like the next day.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. Let's say that maybe you do a A/B test and do 10 one way, 10 another way, see where you get the better response. Dump the first one and stick with the second. I like that. But I wanted to give them kind of a solution because there's small broker owners that don't have in-house marketing or printing or just impatient agents. It's more likely they're like, I put it into marketing and I haven't heard back yet. I'm like, well, just find a local printer, get your own stuff done.
Here, I'm going to do this. You think I can get Mark to go take some of these?
Yeah, I added it to the campaign in Canva because I realized not everybody will door knock, but what they are willing to do is ding dong ditch. You know what I'm saying? Like, ding dong, put the door hanger, and then just run off. They're like scared if somebody would actually answer the door, but they could leave it there. It's a good leave behind. You're not supposed to put anything in the mailboxes.
You can't. And let me tell you, don't do it, because there is someone. This is what'll happen is you'll put it in the mailbox, or in our area we have mailboxes with flags. If you put it even on the flag, even though someone owns that mailbox,
Mm-hmm.
the truth is that the post office owns your mailbox, even though you
Yep.
went and spent however much you spent on it. So don't put it anywhere. You're going to put it on some real estate agent's uh, property, and they're going to call.
They're gonna call
You
the
just market
USPS.
it to their neighborhood. There we go. Look at this. So I'm working while we're talking. I think what you know what I'm going to do now that you've got me rethinking my life. I think what I'm going to do is create this for Mark because he's leaving for Florida and we're licensed in Florida. As I'm going to create these for our subdivision and have him go put these out. I'm going to flip the script a little bit for expireds and properties that are in pre foreclosure.
Yeah, I like that.
I think
Why would
he's
why
willing to
would he
do
want to leave
this.
for Florida now? It's like the perfect time to be in Illinois.
And it's snowing and it's like what?
It's 16 degrees today for us here in Rochester.
It's really cold, yeah. And he'll fly right over Atlanta and where else is it snowing? Tennessee. They're getting. They probably don't know what to do because they don't have snow
Yeah,
plows like
yeah.
we do. They shut down. So today it is. Oh, it's going to be a high of 30. It's 19 right now. So there you have it. I don't know if you want to keep sharing my screen, but
We'll come
I,
back here, and I know you have a live stream. Let's direct them all over there. You go live 9 o'clock Central Time every Friday on the IG at Carrie Jo Little, right above your head. At
right.
Carrie Jo Little,
So
right above your
so
head.
yeah, this 9:05 a.m. I gave myself a few minutes because I'm always coming in hot.
How can they
You
reach
like my
out
new
to you if they?
glasses, JMan?
I do like them. Well, and they're
They're,
non-reflective too. Or non-reflective, reflective, non-reflective, right?
hey, Meta, record.
Oh. I
Hey, Meta,
see.
stop recording.
I
Are we
see
going to
what
have to
you did
go
there.
live about this because you need to go shopping?
Yeah, yeah. Well, at the next conference it'll be two meta nerd like meta on meta crime. I'm like, I'm recording her. She's recording me. All right, we'll put some of your templates in the comments for them. Where can they reach you to follow you and do all that?
I'm
You have a
literally
membership,
Carrie
right?
Jo Little. I do. I'm Carrie Jo Little everywhere. I do have a membership. I think there's still a coupon code right now through the end of this week. So it's $150 for the whole year, which is a steal. And I teach a 1 hour class every single month. And then my twin sister, because she's the data nerd in the education space, she's doing a talk on AI for me every single month called Your AI Brainstorm Buddy.
All right, folks. Well, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you want additional insight and info, you can go to jmanbot.com. Our AI chatbot will help you with everything you need. It has all of our, if you do expired listing scripts, you put that in the AI chatbot. It'll give you all our scripts. There's prompts. There's everything that you need. Jeremiah's JMan Monero. JMan Speaks. Make it a great day. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
We out. We out. Bam, bam. That was good.